Tools for problem solving.
It's my pleasure to be here. I was here a couple months ago, and this is one of my favorite groups. I met some great people already this morning. I love Michael's organization. I met someone here that she provides business loans to distressed areas. There's some really great people doing some really great things in the community. So I got a question for all of you, and you can probably turn this off if you want. I don't need it. So, how many of you have ever been summoned to the conference room, all-day problem-solving session, intensive, sleeves rolled up, bottomless coffee? We got all the heavy hitters there, the CEOs, the VPs, the VIPs, the MBAs, the MVPs. You know, you're scratching your head and you're debating and discussing, and finally at the end of the day, all day, you come up with the holy grail of solutions. You document it. Sometimes you even implement it, only to find yourself right back in the same spot 1 year later looking at the same problem to solve. If you've been there, raise your hand. Yes, yes, yes. Good. I just wanted to make sure I'm in the right room before we get started. It looks like I am. You see, whether you're part of a large corporate structure or you're a sole proprietor, you're looking at a better time management system, how do you better motivate your staff, improve your sales, or you're just trying to lose 10 pounds, the issue is often the same. It's not that we have the wrong ideas. It's not that we have the wrong problems, the wrong solutions, but it's that we're trying to solve the wrong problem. You see, we're great solutionists. We got great ideas. Everyone around that conference table has an idea, a good idea, a great idea. That's not the issue. Just think back to Thanksgiving dinner around the table. You probably heard a lot of ideas, didn't you? Better strategy for the losing football team, everyone had one. How to solve the political problems, the world problems. So the issue is not the idea. But what's happening is that we're trying to solve what I call a surface level problem. And we're not digging deep enough to solve the root cause of the problem. Every late April, early May, I'm sitting on my sofa with a cup of coffee on a Saturday morning. If it's cold out, the fire is going. I'm looking out my bay window at my beautiful, lush green lawn that's starting to come in. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, one day I look out and it's polka dotted, yellow polka dots all over. And I think to myself, it's a great day to cut the grass. Because I don't want to see them. I want to enjoy my lawn that weekend. But if I cut the grass, do I get rid of the dandelions? Do I? Help me, I need some help.
Nope.
I do get rid of them for the moment, but what happens? They come back because I didn't get the root. I didn't get the root. And so my goal here today, my objective for you is to give you a tool to help you identify the root cause problem so that you can solve it in a way it doesn't come back. And here's the beauty. It is so easy. A child can do it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael. A true presenter over here. He's been in my shoes. Okay, let me give you an example. Who here, and I don't want you to raise your hands, who here has ever been on a formalized, structured weight loss program? You use your Jenny Craig, your Weight Watchers, your Nutrisystem, whatever. You lose 10 pounds. And then what happens? What happens? You gain it back. Yeah? Am I right? Have you been there? Look, I've lost 10 pounds over and over. I can't find my car keys, my cell phone, or my remote control, but I always find that 10 pounds back. So in this scenario, we lost 10 pounds, we gained it back. Did the program work? Yeah, you bet it did. So the question to ask is not what's the next best program that's going to work this time. The question to ask is, why did I go off the program to begin with? I got some health coaches here. Laura, am I right? Right? So we've got your Isogenics, we've got some other health coaches and programs. And it's not that the program didn't work, but it's why. Why? We always want to ask not what, but why. And that's how we get to the root cause. Asking not what, but why. Not what, but why. I love this group. That's right. Decades ago, in its effort to become one of the world's leading automotive manufacturers, Toyota Motor Corporation revolutionized problem solving for the manufacturing industry. And some people call it process improvement and lean, but at the end of the day, it's problem solving. It's how do I build a better car? How do I do it better? How do I do it faster? How do I do it with higher quality? And so American automobile manufacturing and other manufacturers studied this, and now this lean improvement has gone into other industries, healthcare and whatnot. But one of the tools that they used at Toyota was something that's called the 5 whys. And the premise behind the 5 whys is this. If I have a problem and I ask the question why 5 times, I will get to the root of the problem and be able to solve it in a way it doesn't come back. A few years ago, the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C. was crumbling, the stone was decaying. And so the Park Service, in an effort to resolve the problem, asked the question, not what, but why? Why is this decay happening? And the answer was that there were frequent washings due to mountains and mountains of bird droppings all over the memorial. So they asked the question, not what, but why the frequent bird droppings? And the answer was that there were these big, fat, juicy spiders crawling all over the memorial, serving as the food source for the birds. So they asked themselves, not what, but why the big, fat, juicy spiders? And the answer was there were these teeny, tiny little insects called midges that were emerging onto the city, millions of them in a mating frenzy every night at dusk, and they were drawn to the memorial. So they asked themselves, not what, but why were they drawn to the memorial? And here's what they found. Every night at dusk, the big spotlights went on to light up the memorial, and the midges were drawn to the memorial. So now they've got a root. And you know what they did? They delayed the lighting of the memorial until 1 hour after sunset. The midge population had decreased by 90%. They cut off the food supply. No more midges, no more spiders, no more birds, no more droppings, no more washings. Had they gone right to the what instead of the why, they might have said, we'll use a different solvent, or we'll use less water pressure. But would they have solved the problem? Would they have solved the problem? They still would have been washing. They still would have been working. So you're saying to yourselves right now, well, Marianne, that's a nice story, but I'm not trying to restore the memorial. I'm trying to figure out how to network, how to get more sales, how to get my ideas heard, how to get a new job. I'll tell you something, I use this technique with every client I work with to phenomenal results. I had several conversations just this morning with several of you out there about getting to the root cause. I worked with a gentleman earlier this year who he was a high-performing leader in his organization, very successful, and was fortunate enough to be looking at an early retirement and wanted his dream retirement career to start his own business. And he had this beautiful plan, business plan, but he made no progress in moving that plan forward and implementing it. So what do you think I asked him? Not what, but why? No progress. And he said, you know, I have a high-stress job, and I'm tired at the end of the day, and, you know, quite frankly, I just come home and plop down and turn on the TV. So I asked him, not what, but why are you turning on the TV? And he said, well, to be honest with you, I'm a bit of a procrastinator when it comes to this project. So I asked, why? Why? You got it. Not what, but why are you procrastinating? And he said, you know, this is an overwhelming, daunting project. And so for those of you who own your own businesses, you know, right? You got to come up with pricing and packaging and websites, those web designers out there that I met. You know, all of that is a lot to handle. So I said, look, how much time can you reasonably devote to this while you're working? And he said, reasonably 10 hours. I said, okay, that makes sense. So we said, what are the next 3 things that absolutely have to happen for you to move this forward? Small chunks in 10-hour blocks. So we picked 3 tasks that would take about 10 hours each and said, week 1, don't think about that rest of the project. Because he'd start something and his mind would go to jump, 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 jump. Just do that one thing. And so on and so forth. And in 3 weeks, he was farther along in implementing and getting his business up and running than he had in 2 years prior. It's pretty cool. Now you're saying, well, Marianne, that's pretty simple. That's kind of obvious. The answers often are. We just can't see them because we're trying to solve the wrong problem. When we dig down deep to the root, that's when we see the answer. It's common sense. People always say about the lean work with the Toyota, oh, that stuff's just common sense. I worked at a hospital and the doctors would say to me, that's just common sense. Yeah, it is, but guess what? Common sense ain't all that common. Here's the thing with your 5 whys. It's so easy a child can do it. When's the last time you spent time around a 3-year-old? Anybody? What do they say? Why is the sky blue? Why is the fire hot? Why can't I smell colors? Why do I have a belly button? Why? And what do we say? Because? I know, that's a good question. I never thought to ask. I never thought about it. It just is. So I encourage you to develop the curiosity of a child. To think about things in a fresh new way. Look at things with fresh new eyes. You will start to uncover root causes to things. Clients come to me for all different reasons, but they have one thing in common. They have a problem to solve. Whether you're not in the job you want, you're not getting the sales you want, you can't get your team motivated, ask 5 whys. You're struggling to stay on track, you have difficulty prioritizing, ask 5 whys. If you're trying to lose 10 pounds, you can't get your spouse to listen to a word you say, or get your kids to pick up their stuff, ask 5 whys. It really works. I'll close with this. I had this conversation earlier this morning with someone. We don't go to the root because it's not fun. It hurts, it's painful. Our problems are painful. Just like my dandelions, I wanted to mow them down as fast as I could so I could enjoy them for the rest of the day. It's difficult, it's painful. We want to get rid of them as easy and quickly as possible. But here's the thing about problem solving. It's not just that it makes our lives easier and better and more painless, but it's who we become as people in the solving of our problems. It's the character we develop, the strength we build, as the people we become by facing that sucker head on and digging it out and getting rid of it. I believe, I'm just going to put my beliefs on you for a minute. Each one of us in this room has a unique purpose in this life. And when we solve our problems at the root and we dig deep and we go down into the dirt with the worms and the bugs and the yucky stuff, and we solve those problems, we come one step closer to discovering, pursuing, and fulfilling that purpose. So when it's all said and done, we can say, I have done all that I was put here to do. And I have become all I was put here to become. If any of you is struggling, the problem, wrestling, I want to invite you to a coaching conversation one-on-one with me at no charge. But you have to ask. Just go to my website and shoot me an email. Give me your contact information and I'll call you and I'll be happy to talk it through with you. I think if I have 1 minute, I want to share a last point with you that really has nothing to do with my presentation that struck me yesterday and I just really want to share. I had someone come to me this week, just earlier this week. He's getting laid off and miserable in his job anyway and doesn't know what to do next. And I said, what are your strengths? And he said, I don't know. I don't even know if I have any. And I said, well, tell me about something that you're proud of that you've accomplished. And he said, I don't have something. So, part of me thought, boy, how can I help someone with no strengths or accomplishments? But just for a second, because I haven't met a challenge yet that I haven't faced head on. So I talked to him for about an hour, and I'm hearing strength after strength. He has not just one option for a career path, he has 3. He's got huge project management skills, and those are in high demand. He's got lean thinking skills. Everybody wants to implement this Toyota stuff these days. And he's got huge marketing skills. So he doesn't have one area of strength, he has 3. And then I looked at his resume. You know what I saw? He worked full-time, started his own business, put himself through college, and graduated on the dean's list, all at the same time. Talk about something to be proud of. I couldn't do that. And what struck me in that moment, or shortly thereafter, was that here's this guy who has these gifts, unique talents. I mean, marketing, project management, and lean thinking. Who's got that? And he's got all this beautiful light inside him to share with the world. But because he didn't see it, the world wouldn't see it either. He's got something to offer an employer that's going to rock a company's world. But no one would ever see it. It was like he had a light switch that he didn't know where it was to turn on. And I thought to myself, how many other people are in this world with that same light and the switch turned off because they can't see it? And what if they all found that switch and turned it on? What kind of world would this be? So I want to encourage you, I know everyone here, you can identify your strengths and accomplishments. That's why you're here. You're sharing them all with each other. But I also want to encourage you in this Christmas season and facing the new year and always thinking about what's new and fresh and changed, to look deep inside. Where's that light switch? What is that unique gift and talent that you have? Not just the stuff you say in your canned elevator speech when you come here, what truly makes you unique and special in the gift that you have to offer. Find it and flip that switch on, because each of you has something amazing to share with this world. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. And she'll be here to answer any questions. Okay, if you have an announcement, come on and line up here. Quick announcements about event or fundraiser, not your business. We're going to have next Wednesday, we're going to have a party.